Welcome to GOS Media. I'm Josiah Kim. A guy named Bob was down on his luck and bored out of his skull from crunching numbers all day long for a small used car lot. It was quite a surprise when some of his old college buddies invited him to go on a camping trip. Now, Bob had let the loss of two businesses and a broken relationship beat him into a pessimist. So he declined the opportunity, saying it would probably rain, or worse, he might get poison ivy. His friends were not ones to easily take no for an answer. They worked on Bob until Bob said yes. The time came to start packing for the trip. As he was tossing clothes into his travel bag, a smile began to stretch across Bob's face as he reflected on his time in college and the mischief he and his buddies would find themselves. His fond memories were interrupted when some of his current friends stopped by to wish him a bon voyage. When they learned that Bob would be spending 4 days on a lake, they began warning him of all kinds of dangers. There would be snakes, the water was probably polluted and he might get a skin infection. If he inhaled campfire smoke, he would get cancer. There was probably a serial killer in the woods stalking campers. And on it went. With all his friends' encouragement, Bob was about ready to cancel the trip. But even though he took a crappy job just to earn income, he was a bookkeeper by trade. And most bookkeepers do tend to be honest. So he kept his word to his old friends and made the trip. As you can imagine, there was great enthusiasm, handshakes, and hugs as the group of old friends rendezvoused at the airport. When asked about the flight, Bob complained about the turbulence, the person next to him, and the stewardess that was slow to answer his call light. Bob could not put his finger on it, but there was something odd in the manner that his friends described their flight. It took most of the afternoon to set up camp, and the fellows were starving as they gathered around the homemade stew, joyfully discussing how grand it was to finally see everyone's face and to catch up with one another. Everyone, that is, except Bob. He was not happy about the splinter he got from gathering firewood, and he made sure everyone knew just how annoying it felt. It was about 2 days into the trip that Bob realized his friends had changed or were putting on a front. They acted far happier than he remembered, even to the point of ignoring reality. When he complained that the fish weren't biting and it was hot standing in the sun, one of the friends shouted "Cannonball" and jumped in the water, splashing everyone. Before he knew it, the others were playing and dunking, ignoring they got his new tennis shoes wet. Then he warned that the sun was going down, so mosquitoes would soon be attracted to their lanterns, and thus, to them, it was as if they ignored him, excited to stargaze. It was the last night of the trip, and the friends were reliving the stories of their youth. At first, Bob thought he had eaten too much, but he realized his stomach pain was actually the results of long bouts of laughter. It had been a long time since he laughed that much. As he listened to the stories about himself, it was as if they were talking about a stranger, and he wondered where that happy-go-lucky guy went. When the weekend came to a close, they were back at the airport, and everyone, including Bob, were still laughing and joking about their youth. They all agreed that they had a great time, and even though it had been a long weekend, it went too quick. It was Bob who came up with the idea to make the camping trip an annual event. Needless to say, everyone agreed. As the plane flew along, Bob was exhausted, but his mind was racing with memories of the weekend. Why was he in such a good mood? Why did he tell the stewardess he appreciated her hard work? Most importantly, why with every mile and minute he flew closer to home, a sense of gloom overtook him as if he was returning to the scene of a crime? It only took a millisecond for all his questions to be answered. When his friends arrived, other than the obligatory hi and welcome back, they were already complaining about how late the flight was, the weather, cost of parking, and on they went. In that moment, he realized he wasn't the victim of a broken marriage. His bad attitude killed it. Lost two businesses? Nah. Drove two businesses into the ground because he bought into the negativity of those telling him he was certain to fail. Yep, he knew in an instant he would be turning in his 2-week notice to move back to his hometown where people were a bit more upbeat. Did you know that crabs can easily crawl up the side of a pail and escape? Then why don't they? I mean, if they can easily escape, why is there all these crab legs to eat? Turns out, for some reason, anytime a crab begins to pull itself up the pail, the other crabs reach up and pull it back down. Truth is, when we hang around with negative people, their low view of success absorbs into our psyche. And before you know it, they too have pulled us to the bottom of the pail with the rest of them. Everyone knows that it takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to succeed. In our relentless pursuit of excellence, it is imperative that we have folks around us that encourage, promote, and inspire us to continue when the going gets tough. And if you are pursuing excellence, it will get tough. Success is a projected image. That doesn't mean we act successful or that success is a facade. It means that our pursuit of excellence manifests itself in and around us. Our projection of such naturally draws people to our success. If they are negative people, they will critique every idea and step of our pursuit. Why are you doing it that way? Why don't you do it this way? Why are you trying so hard? Why don't you go get a real job? Before you know it, their constant negativity slowly drains our motivation, and so we quit, which is exactly, whether they are aware of it or not, what they hope for. Positive people are the ones who, instead of asking why, they ask, why not? When you share your dream with them, they respond with, why not pursue it? When you seek their counsel, they are not dismissive, but rather encouraging with words such as, why not turn that dream into a vision and not just counsel? When you're in need of support and resources, they are quick to help you turn your vision into a reality. Okay, it's your turn. Take a look around at your current situation. Now take a look at those around you and ask yourself, more often than not, are they negatively telling you why your dream will fail? Or are they offering positive challenges, encouraging you by asking you why not go for it? Regardless of your answer, we offer you today's grain of sugar as both a warning and an encouragement. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. If you realize you're surrounded by crabby friends that keep pulling you back into the pail, drop your story in the comments below. You'll find our colony is chock full of encouraging folks who will point your future in a new direction. Thanks for stopping by. We could use your support, so will you please like, subscribe, and share with others? Or maybe become a colony member by joining us on Patreon or snatch up some merch from our website. Links are pinned below. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Grains of Sugar. I've been your host, Josiah Kim.